Hey friends, this is Rachel, the Waterfire Mama, and welcome to my channel. Let's get started by talking about who you are. You're going to appreciate the content on this channel if you're interested in a few things. If you're the parent of a child with special needs or the caregiver of another high needs individual like an aging parent. When I think of others who are pouring themselves out for others at high cost to themselves, I also include single parents, parents of multiple kids who are little all at the same time, teachers, nurses, even ministers. I call people like us high impact caregivers. We're the people who are treading deep water and walking through hot fire every single day. And that gave me the name for this channel. The rate of burnout and divorce for high impact caregivers is really high. And so I'm devoting this channel to sharing strategies and tips for avoiding the devastating consequences of burnout and helping your relationships thrive. I'm a special needs mom myself, and some really important things have helped me in my journey so far. First, my faith in and relationship with the God of the Bible. On this channel, I'll bring encouragement from scripture and talk about spiritual practices that have brought me stability. The second thing that's helped me on my journey is a set of skills to help with mindset, mood management, emotion regulation, and relationships with my core people, like my husband and my kids. Think skills to help you connect and communicate well with your spouse. Stay in control when your kid is having a meltdown, or say no tactfully but firmly when you can't add anything more to your plate. I'm really excited to share these skills with you. Third, I want to show you the routines and systems that I've learned from my coaches or through trial and error that have brought some order and balance to my crazy schedule. These practices help me feel grounded and less chaotic. Don't get me wrong, there is definitely plenty of chaos in this life, but there are some hacks that can help you feel less like you're being tossed around in the wind and the waves, and more like you at least have some solid ground beneath your feet. Finally, I'll bring some videos about the natural solutions that can support our minds and bodies so that we can exert some agency over our health. Things like mindful breathing, exercise, sleep, nutrition, and essential oils. There's a growing body of research that is showing us that essential oils are very effective at helping us process our emotions and elevate our moods so that we feel more of what we want and release the emotions that are gumming up the works. No one can pour from an empty cup. And it's really hard to have a joyful marriage when there's nothing left in your cup to share with your spouse. So I want to show you some manageable and impactful ways you can implement self-care so that you can feel closer to your best and not so drained. Every special needs family is different with their very own set of circumstances and challenges. Some families face mostly medical challenges. Their calendars and energy might revolve around treatments, doctor's appointments, or the next surgery and hospital stay. Some families face predominantly developmental, mood, and behavioral challenges. Their calendars and energy may revolve around weekly therapies, getting ahead of the next meltdown, or minimizing the potential harm that the child with special needs might do to themselves or others. Lots of these caregivers are working around the clock to help their child communicate, navigate their environment, and do simple daily care activities like toileting and bathing. Still, other families spend the lion's share of their energy advocating to get their child the instruction and services they need from their schools and communities. Add to all of that the stress of scheduling, driving to all the appointments, mountains of paperwork, IEP meetings, explaining your child's struggles to naive bystanders, and so much more. All special needs families deal with a unique constellation of challenges, but we're all in the same high impact caregiver storm. Some of us are right in the eye of that storm, while others of us are headed out toward the fringes where it's a little calmer, and everywhere in between. Our boats look different, our crews look different, but we can all empathize with each other's struggles. My husband David and I got into this boat when I was 17 weeks pregnant with our first child, Luke. He was born with a severe congenital heart defect called Epstein's anomaly that required 5 major surgeries and lots of smaller ones to get him where he is today. When he was young, he needed a trach, ventilator, breathing treatments, pulse oximeter, and round-the-clock home health nursing. At this point in his early teens, we're still dealing with tube feedings, toilet training, and weekly therapies, as well as navigating the special education programs in our schools and community. Aside from his physical challenges, Luke also has difficulties with anxiety, communication, cognitive and sensory processing, and socialization. For the last several years, I have investigated best practices from individual and marriage therapy experts and have been my own guinea pig as I have integrated these principles into my life and marriage. I'll be on this journey of learning and growing for the rest of my life, especially since it seems that just when I get one stage figured out, we're on to the next. But I discovered some ways to create some breathing room for myself and my family, and I want to share that with you. My true passion is helping people live life abundantly through my therapy practice, coaching, and now my YouTube channel. So I'm really glad you're here. Make sure to subscribe and click that little bell icon so you get notified as soon as I drop new videos. If you're a high impact caregiver, let me know in the comments what kind of videos you're looking for. I can't wait to read what's on your mind. To all of you fellow water fire walkers out there, you probably don't feel like you have it all together, but there is a God who goes before us and who is our rear guard. He is going to carry us through the tough spots. I'm so glad that you found this community. See you next time.